Hello everybody, welcome back to the Yozo Tech Tracks YouTube channel. You're joining me on day number 2 of my push-pull leg workout routine. As I got into most of the other videos, I do prefer a 5-day workout if I'm going to be available for coming down to my personal home gym 4 or 5 days in a row. But once again, this week my schedule is a little bit shifted. It's all over the place, so I'm going to be doing my push-pull leg version. Again, these are half-an-hour workouts that I do in my own home, in my basement, with my own equipment. As mentioned in the other videos, nothing special here. This is just a simple power rack, Olympic bar, couple of plates, dip bar attachments, my personal equipment. I have a pair of shoes. I have my own farmer handles, which I do for my loaded carries, just a little bit of a foam pad I put behind the back squats, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and a weightlifting belt, of course. I use those mostly for squats and deadlifts and nothing else. That's just a personal preference. I do like to have a stopwatch. Once again, I find it's easier than playing around with a smartphone because it's too distracting, and I don't need that, especially if I want to devote half an hour to something. I really want to focus on that, get it done, and be done with it, because from a personal point of view, I like to be efficient. I like to do as much as possible. If I do make time for something like this, I'm not a professional, it's just a hobby, but if I do make time for something, I like to put as much into it as possible without injuring myself, hurting myself, getting into that personal fatigue where you don't want to come back the next day and you don't want to step over that boundary. Today I'm going to be doing my second day, which is the pull. If you haven't seen already, yesterday I did my half-an-hour push workout, which mostly comprised of a half-an-hour combination of flat bench press and my version of an overhead Viking press. So today is going to be my day number 2 out of the 3. It is going to be a pull day. What I like to do in a day like today, again, half-an-hour window, I like to warm up with a couple of chin-ups, and in the meantime I'm going to be preparing my my row into my landmine attachment, which is just a simple pivot point that you can buy. You can attach to pretty much any power rack or squat rack, just an anchor point. So when you put the bar in and you do want to push up against it, the bar doesn't really get away from you. It's more like a good, really good pivot, and it's nothing special. That's all it is. After that, I do like to finish off the day with a loaded carry, which is going to be a farmer walk, and I have my own handles. There's another video I can show you on that if you have any interest in it. I made it myself. These things are very cheap, very inexpensive, but very effective. They're made of pretty much I believe these are gas pipes you can buy. I live in Canada, so Home Depot, Rona, any of those building supplies places have these. These are just 1-inch pipes with threaded ends and different length. You can come up with different combinations of however you want to make this thing look, but I have a pair of these and I find it works for me. It's cheaper than going out and buying a professional set, which I would do the exact same with. I just put the bars on, the plates, and there you go. Simple, easy, and cheap, which is what I like. So once again, today is a pull day. It's number 2, and again, a couple of chin-ups for myself. In the meantime, I'm going to be loading up the bar for my kind of a T-bar row. I don't have a T-bar attachment. It's coming in the mail, but again, I just make do with basic, simple equipment that anybody can use anywhere, and I'm going to be doing drop sets of that, so I'm going to load some weights up on that, and my goal is roughly 5 to 10 reps. Again, it varies, depends how I feel, based on my sleep, my stress level, my nutrition, just energy levels in general. I do like to do drop sets, not too much of a rest time, because again, in half-an-hour windows I like to do as much as possible, so I do like to kind of push myself a little bit. I'm going to be removing weights from that and keep on doing until roughly the first half. I always break up these half-an-hour programs into 2 15-minute windows, just to make it a little more simple, easier, and just mentally just to be able to focus on a 15-minute window rather than a half-an-hour window. It makes my time easier and easier to keep a track of my personal timelines. And the last half of it, the other 15 minutes, again, I'm just going to be doing my loaded carries, farmer walks, and just back and forth. I have roughly 30 feet of walking space, so there and back is roughly, let's say, 50-60 feet, which I like to do for one set of walks, which is perfect, because I only have this much space, but it's better than being outside right now, especially. It's the middle of winter, and time-wise, as far as the resources I have and taking out the equipment, this is just something that stays here in the basement, simple, easy, out of the way if I don't need it, and it's really all you need, well, all I need ever to pretty much do this kind of a strength training. Maybe something other people are interested in. This is just an idea to get people to expand their minds about what you can do, because I've done this for a couple of years now, and it's something that's really, really worthwhile. I found for myself it's something that's really self-satisfaction as much as you can for anything. It's keeps your stress levels down. It helps me personally get better rest, better sleep. I feel more energetic in the day. It's just a great stress relief. If some people have something on their minds that they can't really find another way to get rid of, this is a really good way to get away from it all. And half an hour per day is what I do, but it's nothing much. Again, I'm not a professional, as mentioned in the other videos. This is just my personal hobby, but there's no reason you cannot push yourself to find your boundaries and try to overcome those obstacles, because it's a lifelong, pretty much a lifelong adventure to see what you're capable of, not to get injured, but to slowly push yourself and see if you can make gains, because that's what it's all about, just to have fun, but also to see what you're capable of. Why not? So you only live once. You got to do something that makes you happy. So here's my simple stopwatch. As always, it's all I need. I'm just going to be starting it, and roughly I'm going to keep an eye on it back and forth between my sets, and roughly my first half, as I mentioned, is going to be 15 minutes, and the other set again 15 minutes, for a total of half an hour. Then I'm done, and away we go. So I'm going to just start the watch right now, and let's have some fun. Okay, I'm just going to take my bar and load up this landmine attachment, is what it's called. Again, it's just a simple pivot the bar goes into so it doesn't move around on you. I tried to set up the camera so you get pretty much a good view of everything, but this is the best I can do, because beyond this the house ends, so that's all I can do. Okay, that was a good workout, good warm-up, and just making sure the video is running. So let me do my first set of this, and I'm going to drop a couple of weights down and go from there. Here we go. Just take a couple of seconds to catch my breath, and I try to get right back into it again, because I do make a 15-minute window for the first half, so I don't want to take too much of a break, because every one of those 1 minute or 2 minutes, it does add up quickly, because when time's of the essence, I want to try to do as much as possible in as little as time as possible without fatiguing myself for the next day. As always, just like day number 1, the overhead press, I don't have a proper attachment for the proper T-bar row, as it's called, because it's supposed to be a shape of a T. But I do grab the bar. The Olympic barbell is knurled, so it's really got a really good hand grip position. But I do alternate the grips just to have a more balanced workout when you're going from one set to the other to the other. Again, the idea of the drop set is you are dropping the weight, so that accounts for your natural fatigue. As you do more, you do get more tired, so to be able to keep up the same rep range for the next set, you should be able to maintain the next one by dropping a little bit of weight each time. And again, depends how far you want to go with it, but because I'm limited to 15 minutes for the first half, I'm going to go as close to 15-minute window as possible, and then move the weights around and get ready for the second half, which is the farmer walk. I'm at roughly 5 minutes, which is pretty much where I want to be right now. It's nothing too rushed, but it's still giving me adequate time to do a couple of good pull exercises for today. Again, this is the push-pull workout. So first day, strictly pushing, upper body. Second day, pulling, upper body. And third day is going to be the legs. Tomorrow, which will be pretty much squats and deadlift. There are many different ways to break down these push-pull leg workouts. Again, personally, I like to keep them as easy and simple as possible with minimal equipment, but also as much compound exercises as I can use. I find that's a lot more valuable if you're pressed for time. As I said before, I do like to do the farmer walk today. It's not really a pull exercise, but that's where I personally like to fit it in the routine. The push, I'm kind of tied up with 2 major exercises, such as the bench press and the overhead press. That eats up a lot of time. On the lower body, leg day, the third day, it's a little bit taxing to do it after your squats and deadlift. So I found for myself it fits perfectly in with the pulling. I'm at roughly 7 minutes, so roughly halfway throughout the first half, which is pretty good as far as the time goes. When I'm doing this push-pull leg workout, I never really count sets. Usually for my 5-day workout routine, I do the first, second, fourth, and fifth day. I do perform something like a 5x5, 5 sets of 5 reps or 5 sets of 5 to 10 reps. But a day like today, I mostly look at the time instead of the number of sets. It doesn't really matter for me. Again, I'm not chasing numbers. I'm not chasing a specific weight. Just some days you feel up to it, you put more weight up to the bar. Some days you don't. You drop the weight, but you can do a little bit more. So in the same 15-minute window, it's pretty much a good exercise. My personal goal for this usually is to try to get down to a couple of 45 pound plates and remove all the other ones, the 25s, the 10s, the 5s. But again, depending on the time, it varies. Sometimes I meet the goal, sometimes I don't. But if I don't, then the next week, if I do perform the same push-pull leg workout, I keep in mind what I did last week. So I do try to challenge myself by performing a little bit more. So I get to do something a little bit more for the progressive overload. Roughly at 10 minutes, so I think I'll be doing this roughly till about 14 minutes, and then move some of the weights away, bring my farmer handles, put some weights into it, and back and forth away I go. Yeah, one of the really good thing about these drop sets is you can perform a lot of exercises in a short time. The rest time is pretty much while you catch your breath and or you're just removing the weights, putting the clamp back on, which roughly, let's say 30 seconds between sets is really good time to be able to catch your breath, go for the next set. Couple more to go. Should be okay for the first half. Again, for these push-pull leg workouts, I do much prefer to do it back to back to back without taking a break in between, because as I said, I might not be able to have 5 or 6 days workout scheduled this week. So worst case scenario, I'm going to be doing a push-pull leg, a couple of days off, and maybe one full body workout, just to try to put in that 2 exercise per week suggested exercise selection. So you're doing squats twice a week, rows twice a week, pushes twice a week, deadlifts twice a week, and so on. Maybe 2 more sets and I'll be good. Even though the weights are getting lighter, you do pretty much get a good workout, good burn out of it, because as I said, you are getting fatigued after basically you're working in a pyramid downhill, but it's still really a fun exercise and a fun way of doing it if you're in a bit of a time squeeze. Okay, I'm at roughly 14 minutes, so I'm going to set up the equipment for my farmer walk, and for myself that was a pretty good first half of the exercise. I do still use these plates for the farmer walk. I only have this equipment to work with, but I find it's still plenty enough for me. Once again, this is what the farmer walk handles look like. Nothing special. I do have a short minute video about them. If you like them, look it up. I have some measurements on my website. They're cheap, inexpensive, and so far they're really durable for a couple of years now. I do have to make sure which one is left, which one is right, because as you'll see later, the weights tend to kick out. So if I do put them the wrong way, the bars might start hitting my knees. This way, it gives me a little bit more room to be able to walk comfortably. They are threaded, so it does have a positive latch when it does close. So I never had a problem with them falling apart. Hopefully I never will. Okay, I'll get a couple more plates and ready for the first walk. Maybe two more. Should be okay. These just screw on and lock everything together pretty securely. Okay, I'm gonna do my first set right now. My first walk, it's about 16.5 minutes, which is still pretty close to about halfway where I want to be. I do like to perform these loaded carries at least once a week. I find it's okay for me. It's a good conditioning exercise. It's pretty much a full body workout. Personally, I feel it everywhere, as far as from your traps all the way down to your arms, your forearms, your biceps, your whole body, pretty much down to your legs. So it's debatable which day is best on a push-pull leg workout day to fit them in. Like I said, for myself, I do find it easier as far as time management and to be able to balance these 3 days, because I don't want to have, for example, first day, the push day is going to be a 50% effort, then the next day might be a 200% effort, then the third day might be like a 100% effort. I do like to balance out the major exercises as far as how much stress it puts on my body, because recovery is always very important, and personally I don't like to do too many major exercises in one day, then do some minor ones the next day. I just don't feel comfortable with that, because I try not to get injured, and so far what I do, again, I'm not a professional, but for me as a hobby, this has worked out great for years and years, and so far so good. yeah, these farmer handles, since I've used them, I never look back. Some things I make myself as a personal hobby. I do find I have to make something twice or three times to get the right idea, but first time I made these years ago, I've been using them ever since. They never budged on me, they never loosened up, no accidents with them, so a lot cheaper than buying them. Even the cheapest ones I could find were hundreds of dollars for the ones I liked, so I thought if I can save a couple of $100, why not? The whole point is it's an exercise to basically give you a really good grip strength, so no matter what you use for that, it's just as effective. I'm at roughly 20.5 minutes, which is pretty good. That's pretty much again where I want to be. I've been doing this for a while, so I have a pretty good gauge about if I'm behind or on time or I need to pick up the pace, but so far I'm pretty happy with the way it's going today. Again, tomorrow will be the third out of third day for this push-pull leg workout, and tomorrow mostly I'm going to concentrate on, I start off with the deadlift and then I do go on to the squat. As mentioned before, if I can foresee that the next gym schedule for myself is going to be this 3 days on, maybe 1 day off, or 3 days on, the next leg day I do vary it a little bit. For example, tomorrow is going to be the deadlift and the back squat. The next is going to be the deadlift and the front squat. I do like to alternate the exercises but still get those compound exercises in, such as the deadlift, the back squat, the front squat, so on and so forth. I found out there's a lot of different exercises you can do, but as far as what you can do in the short time you have, you have to be wise with the exercise selection, because time will run out quickly, and in the end, when the time is up, you'll feel that you didn't really put in as much as you could if you chose the exercises a little bit more wisely as far as what you get out of the time that you put in, which is always a case of the return on the investment. For how much money you put in, how much effort you put in, what you get out of it, is it worth it? So again, some people don't like certain exercises, I understand that, but again, for myself, I like to perform these major ones, and all I have is basically the free weights and a Olympic bar, so I don't have something as a leg press. I don't have something for leg curls, so I just make do with what I have, but it's pretty much all you need to have fun as a recreational lifter. I do find these weights, all of the exercises pretty much I focus on do have a really good carryover to everyday life, as far as your personal strength, your energy levels, and everything else that goes with that. I'm just trying to be careful, because when I put these weights down, because the plates are round instead of the much preferred hexagonal ones, but I just have to make sure that they're a little bit balanced so they don't roll away. They never really did, but that's all I have to worry about. If I put them down easily, I lock them together, and they're pretty safe like that. Okay, I'm at 23 minutes, so maybe a couple more and I'll be okay for today. Again, this is the second day. This is the pull. So I do like to vary these exercises up as far as what I do for the pull day. I do like to put in the farmer walk for the loaded carry, but if I don't do my T-bar row version of a row, I do like to do a regular bent over row. I do like to do more pull-ups, different hand placement, because varies different pull muscles, but it's pretty much a pull day is a pull day. So which exercise you choose is not really that important as long as you push yourself and as long as you pretty much get out of it what you put into it. So with that being said, it's whatever you like. Once again, I did mention before in the other videos, if any of you watch those, as far as exercises and a workout routine, it doesn't really matter what kind of exercise routine you do as long as you stick to it and as long as you try to put those big exercises in roughly twice a week, which is recommended by most experts or quote-unquote experts. But again, it depends how you push yourself and to make sure you don't lose any of those days, because if you know, like myself this week, I won't be able to go to the gym 5 days a week. I wouldn't want to do my 5-day routine because, for example, if I do push-pull and I miss 2 other exercises, I would, for example, go back to another day, which I missed a lot of it. So as long as I know my schedule, I try to vary it. Most of the time I do have 5 days a week available, but like I said, when I don't, I still like to do my version of the maximum I can do in a half-an-hour window for as many days as possible. Consistency is always number one with anything. It's if you stick to it, you get results out of it. If you don't, the plan is going to fall apart no matter what. Okay, 1 or 2 more sets of walks and 26, 27 minutes. Again, I'm aiming for these half-an-hour windows because personally, as far as consistency, that's pretty much all the time I have for. So I'm not one of those people who can come down here 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week for an hour or an hour and a half. Some people like those long workouts. I found myself I don't really need them. I just kind of slack off if I know I'm going to be there for such a longer time, and I do kind of lose focus on what I want to do. But again, if I just look at my simple stopwatch, I give myself that 30-minute window, and I constantly look at the watch and I know I have to hustle a little bit, or I have to make sure I push myself a little further for being able to meet those goals that I set for myself. It's nothing too much, but it worked for me. As far as a little bit every day is better than if I put in too much on one day, then I'm sore the next day, or I can't come back for the 3rd day because I haven't recovered yet. But these little short exercises I found are really all I need from like a recreational hobby point of view. Okay, I think I'm going to end it right here. My hands are getting a little bit blistered up. It's not too bad, but once again, these bars are smooth, so they don't have a knurling. I've gone into the other video. One thing I probably going to do in the near future is get this grip tape, where it's kind of like sandpaper on one side and sticky back on the other. You can cut it to fit for, let's say, 5-6 inches, as long as your hands are. You can stick it right on the bar, and it won't make your hands blistered up, because it does get bunched up, and the weight after a while it does get a little bit discomforting. But you know, that's part of it too, I guess, because it's a grip strength exercise. So if it does want to let go from your hand, you do have to kind of hold it tighter, which is actually really good for the forearms. It's pretty good exercise. This loaded carry is really good for health benefits, breathing, all that. Okay, I'm roughly at 29 minutes. Once again, I do like to have a target of half an hour, which I met just fine. I'm happy. And if you like what you see, if you want to leave a comment, subscribe, give it a thumbs up, please. Come back tomorrow for my third day, which I'm most likely going to upload right away, as soon as I do it tomorrow, because I like to get these videos out as quickly as possible for anybody to see. My knowledge, it can be shared with anybody from the community. Hopefully some people get benefits out of them. Once again, I'm not a professional, this is just my hobby, but I think I have a pretty good routine for how I break up my days and my goals for being able to overcome my personal obstacles for weightlifting. Thank you for watching. This is Yotso from the Yotso Tech Tracks YouTube channel, and happy lifting, stay safe, see you next time, bye.